Hey guys, this is Megan Schoaf, the Transparent Realtor, and today's video is for first-time homebuyers. Today we're going to talk about some basic tips for first-time homebuyers. First and most important is know your budget. We're going to be talking to my buyers who are financing their loan to purchase their home. I have found that most people are pre-approved for a different number than what they actually want to spend. And when you get that overall budget that the lender approves you for, also ask them what that equals out to be per month. Because what you want to spend per month and what you're pre-approved for per month might be very different. And just a little bit further of breakdown is your monthly mortgage payment actually consists of four things. The first one is your principal, which is the loan, the interest, which you're paying on the loan, 1/12 of your homeowner's insurance premium, and 1/12 of your yearly property taxes. And those last two, your taxes and your insurance, the mortgage company will take 1/12 of those and put them in what's called an escrow account and pay those out when those premiums and taxes are due. Because obviously the lender wants to make sure that the taxes are paid at the home is covered by insurance. So they take care of that nice little convenience for you. If your mortgage payment ever increases, I would go to either your taxes or insurance because those are the two likely culprits for your mortgage payment increasing. As we know, property taxes can increase and then your homeowner's insurance premium can increase. And unfortunately, we can't do a whole lot about taxes, but if your yearly homeowner's insurance premium does increase outside of your comfort zone, by all means, go ahead and shop for a new homeowner's insurance. Next is get pre-approved, not just pre-qualified. So the difference between pre-approved and pre-qualified is pre-approved means that the lender has gotten your W-2s, gotten your bank statements, gotten your pay stubs. They have done a soft pull on your credit and they say, here, Megan, here's what you're pre-approved to purchase a home with. Okay. Pre-qualified is very basic. You go on, this is where a lot of people can get in trouble. They go on a website, they put in their income per year, and then that financial institution spits out a letter that says Joe Smith is pre-approved for $300,000 without looking at any of his credit file information. And why that's important for first-time home buyers is because that can make the difference between you actually being able to purchase and not being able to purchase. And when that really comes into play is if you're under contract. Say you did a pre-qual at the beginning and you're like, here, Meg, here's my letter for $300,000, and we go home shopping. You get under contract, you put your deposits down, you pay for your home inspections, you pay for your appraisal, and then the lender takes your file and sends it through underwriting, which is basically somebody who looks at your file a little bit more thoroughly and approves or disapproves your file pending all of those things that they have found. There's a whole lot more that goes into it. I'm just speaking very basic because I don't really know a whole lot of the underwriting process in detail like a lender would. Not the best source of information for this. But when that lender sends your file into underwriting, and if they did not do a pre-approval, you just did a pre-qualification, that could mean the difference between you buying the house and not buying the house, which translates into you being out of pocket a lot of money because now you've spent all of this money on a house that you can't even buy or being able to proceed with the property. Okay. So again, I highly recommend buyers getting pre-approved, not just pre-qualified. And I will probably do another video on why working with local lenders over big box banks tends to be the secret to success with first-time home buyers and a better purchasing experience altogether. And I'll partner with a local lender so we can get the ins and outs on how they're different. Next, and number 3, working with a knowledgeable agent. I know I've said it in the past, and I know I've said it ad nauseum at this point. Who you get to represent you throughout the transaction is going to be the make or break deal in how successful your transaction is. Specifically, first-time home buyers, get an agent who has worked with multiple first-time home buyers in the past. We know that first-time home buyers tend to have a lot of questions, and I welcome all of those questions. I am a question asker. I want to know all the things. So I also like to inform my clients as such. So if you're finding yourself working with an agent who is not responsive or who doesn't fully explain everything to you to makes you feel comfortable, this is where it might be in your best interest to then find an agent who is willing to do that, right? Which goes along back to interview multiple agents. Find an agent who is willing to meet you where you're at. especially as a first-time home buyer. I like to make sure that my first-time home buyers are educated and informed and confident moving forward every step of the way, because a confident and informed client tends to be a happy client, and that's all I want are happy clients. Okay. So again, working with a knowledgeable agent is especially important for first-time home buyers. Now, first-time home buyers, especially my younger first-time home buyers, it's really important to understand your needs versus wants. Okay. I need a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house with a fully fenced in backyard. I want granite countertops. Okay. If I can find a client, the house that has both their needs and their wants, it's a win. I knocked it out of the park. But I like to manage my buyers' expectations that while we are going to find a house with all of your needs, we may not find a house with all of your wants and needs. So we need to prioritize as such. Okay. And understand, if this is your starter home, it's not your forever home. And it's okay that it doesn't have every single aspect that you want in a house. I really want this to weigh out, especially for my military buyers, is how long are you actually going to spend in that house? And is it something you're willing to tolerate for the duration of your living there? And that a lot of times helps my clients manage their expectations of like, yes, it may not be perfect for us right now, but it does the job for us while we're here. Managing that expectation with my buyers of understanding their wants versus their needs and trying to prioritize accordingly. Be ready. Number 5 is be ready for those out-of-pocket costs. I've talked about it in a previous video and I won't really go over it too much more, but out-of-pocket costs are a thing. And I didn't know when I purchased my house for the first time. I was surprised that I had closing costs when I used my VA loan. So understand and be ready for those out-of-pocket costs to include your appraisal, your inspections, your closing costs, and potentially down payment. And then don't skip the home inspection. Don't do it. Listen, $300 to $400 out of pocket while you're under contract for a house is going to feel a lot better than tens of thousands of dollars that you have to spend because you didn't get the $300 to $400 home inspection. So get the home inspection. I don't think I need to say anything else. Be patient and don't rush. My clients and I, we tend to see 5 to 8 homes tops. If there's a lot more inventory on the market, we may see a little bit more than that. But I have such an ironclad conversation with my clients before we even step foot in a house. And photos are so well done these days that when my clients say that they want to see this house, they're already 80 to 90% sure that they like it. They just need to see what it looks like in person to see if the photos accurately depict what the house looks like. But really, be patient and don't rush, but also work efficiently. Don't go in homes that you probably know. If you don't want a galley kitchen, don't go look at homes that have galley kitchens. Be open-minded to and be willing to not look at every single house that's on the market because you have FOMO. All right. Work efficiently and effectively, and I promise the home buying process will be so much more enjoyable because of it. And then lastly, keep learning. First-time home buyers especially, I implore you and encourage you to do all the research. I also encourage you to ask all of the questions. I know that some people use that term, that's a dumb question, but in real estate, especially for first-time home buyers, there is absolutely no such thing as a dumb question. Why? Because I want to make sure, even if you have to ask me the same question 3 or 4 times, I want to make sure you thoroughly understand that concept because I want you to be educated and informed. Because again, educated and informed clients are happy clients. Confused and worried clients are not usually happy clients. And that usually is all about clarity. If I can provide you clarity throughout this process, then it makes it enjoyable and seamless. Okay. So again, ask all the questions, keep doing all the learning, and get an agent who is willing to help with both of those things. If you have any questions or any tips for first-time home buyers that I didn't talk about in this video, by all means, please comment below. I would be more than happy to help answer those questions. And if you think that my content is helpful for yourself or somebody that you know, please feel free to share it and also subscribe and like to my content also. It means the world to me. Again, my name is Megan Schoaf, the Transparent Realtor, Real Estate, Real Talk, Transparent Guidance. Until next time, guys.